Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. Today I am excited to share with you my science project. The title is Science Project, and I might also have a subtitle which adds a little more detail. Over the next few minutes I will walk you through what I researched, the methods I used, and the key findings. So let's get started. Thank you for your attention as we wrap up this section. On this slide, you'll see the contents, and I want to highlight a couple of key points. First, we're concluding with Chapter 5, which ties together the main themes we've discussed so far. It's important to recognize how this chapter encapsulates the core ideas and insights, providing a comprehensive understanding. And second, I want to express my gratitude for your engagement throughout this presentation. Your attention is truly appreciated. Remember, the concepts we've covered are not just isolated ideas. They connect to the overall theme of this presentation, emphasizing the importance of understanding the bigger picture. So, thank you once again for your attention, and I look forward to exploring more with you as we continue. Let's take a closer look at Chapter 5. In this section, we'll explore some key points that are crucial for understanding the overall theme of our presentation. I'll walk you through these concepts thoroughly, but in a conversational way, so it feels natural and engaging. The most important ideas here help us connect the dots and see how this chapter fits into the bigger picture. As we go along, I'll highlight the concepts that are especially significant and explain how they relate to what we've discussed so far. This chapter really emphasizes the core principles that drive our topic forward, so pay close attention to these ideas. They'll be essential as we continue. Let's move on to Chapter 5, where we'll explore the various constituents of petroleum and their uses. As you know, petroleum isn't just one single substance. It's a complex mixture of different hydrocarbons and other compounds. Understanding these constituents is key to appreciating how we utilize petroleum in our daily lives. First, we'll look at the major fractions obtained from refining petroleum, such as gasoline, kerosene, diesel, and lubricating oils. Each of these plays a crucial role in transportation, industry, and household applications. Next, we'll discuss the specific uses of these constituents. For example, gasoline is primarily used as fuel for vehicles, while kerosene is common in heating and lighting in some regions. Diesel fuels are vital for trucks and heavy machinery, and lubricating oils help reduce friction in engines. It's also important to highlight that some constituents, like asphalt, are used in construction and road making, and other heavier fractions are used in the production of chemicals and plastics, showcasing the versatile nature of petroleum. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding the constituents helps us see the value and potential of petroleum beyond just fuel. It's a foundational resource for countless industries, and its various components are tailored for specific uses, demonstrating its importance in modern life. Today, we're going to talk about coal and petroleum resources. These are some of the most important materials we use in our daily lives. You see, we rely on various materials for our basic needs, and these materials come from two main sources. Some are found naturally in the environment, and others are created through human effort. When we talk about things that are obtained directly from nature, we call them natural resources. Coal and petroleum are perfect examples of natural resources because they are naturally occurring substances that we extract and use. These resources are vital because they provide us with energy, powering our homes, industries, and transportation. Understanding the difference between natural resources like coal and petroleum and human-made materials helps us appreciate how much we depend on nature for our daily lives. It also highlights the importance of managing these resources sustainably for the future. Today, we will look at how resources are classified, specifically focusing on coal and petroleum. Resources can be broadly divided into two main types: inexhaustible and exhaustible. Inexhaustible resources are those that are available in unlimited quantities in nature. Because of this, they are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. Think of sunlight and air; they are always available to us no matter how much we use them. On the other hand, we have exhaustible resources. These are limited in nature, meaning there's only a certain amount available. Human activities can deplete these resources over time. For example, forests, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, and natural gas all fall into this category. Understanding this classification helps us see the importance of conserving exhaustible resources, while also recognizing the endless availability of inexhaustible ones. It ties into the overall theme of sustainable resource management, ensuring we use our resources wisely for future generations. Let's talk about coal and petroleum today. These are what we call fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are natural resources that come from the remains of living organisms, dead plants and animals that have been buried and transformed over millions of years. When these organic remains undergo heat and pressure deep underground, they turn into coal, petroleum, and natural gas. That's why we call them fossil fuels. They are essentially the stored energy of ancient life. These resources are incredibly important because they have historically powered our industries, transportation, and energy needs. But it's also crucial to remember that they are finite, non-renewable resources. As we continue to rely heavily on coal and petroleum, we need to think about sustainable alternatives for the future. So, in the context of our overall discussion on energy sources, understanding fossil fuels helps us see both their importance and the need for responsible management. Coal is a very hard substance, comparable in hardness to stone, and it's typically black in color. It's fascinating how this dark, solid material plays such a vital role in our daily lives. For instance, coal is one of the primary fuels used to cook food in many parts of the world. It provides a reliable and efficient source of heat. Beyond cooking, coal is also crucial in generating electricity. Thermal power plants burn coal to produce the power that lights up our homes and powers industries. You might also find it interesting that, historically, coal was used in railway engines. Steam engines ran on coal, which produced the steam needed to move the trains. And it doesn't stop there. Coal is used as a fuel in various industries, supporting manufacturing processes and other industrial activities. Overall, coal has been a cornerstone of energy production and industrial development, connecting to our broader theme of understanding different energy sources and their impact. Let's take a closer look at the story of coal. About 300 million years ago, the Earth was quite different. Dense forests thrived in low-lying wetland areas, creating vast amounts of plant material. Over time, natural processes like flooding caused these forests to get buried under layers of soil. As more soil accumulated, these plant-rich layers were compressed under immense pressure. At the same time, as they sank deeper into the earth, the temperature increased significantly. Under these conditions, high pressure and high temperature, the dead plants didn't just decay. Instead, they gradually transformed into coal. This process is fundamental to understanding how we have access to this vital energy resource today, connecting directly to our overall discussion on fossil fuels and their role in our energy landscape. Let's talk about the characteristics of coal. As you can see, coal mainly contains carbon, which is a key element in its composition. The process that transforms dead vegetation into coal is quite slow and is called carbonization. This process highlights why coal is classified as a fossil fuel, since it originates from the remains of ancient plants. When we heat coal in the presence of air, it burns readily and primarily produces carbon dioxide gas. This property makes coal an important energy source, but also one that has environmental implications due to the release of carbon dioxide. Understanding these characteristics helps us appreciate both the utility and the impact of coal as an energy resource within our overall energy landscape. Let's take a look at the products we get from coal processing. When coal is processed in industry, it yields several useful products that play important roles in various industries. First, we have coke. Coke is a tough, porous, and black substance, and it's almost pure carbon. It's quite durable and is primarily used in the manufacture of steel, where it acts as a fuel and a reducing agent. Coke is also essential in extracting many metals from their ores, making it a vital material in metallurgical processes. Next, we have coal tar. Coal tar is a thick black liquid with an unpleasant smell. It's actually a mixture of around 200 different substances. From coal tar, we can obtain a variety of products like synthetic dyes, medicines, explosives, perfumes, roofing materials, and paints. Interestingly, everyday items like naphthalene balls, which we use to repel moths and insects, are also derived from coal tar. Lastly, during the process of obtaining coke, coal gas is also produced. This gas is used as a fuel in many industries located near coal processing plants, providing an energy source for various industrial applications. So these products, coke, coal tar, and coal gas, are key outputs of coal processing, each with its own significant industrial uses, helping connect our understanding of coal's role in manufacturing and energy. Petrol is primarily used as a fuel for lighter vehicles, such as motorcycles, scooters, and cars. These are the types of vehicles we see around us every day, and petrol helps them run smoothly. On the other hand, heavier motor vehicles like trucks and tractors rely on diesel fuel, which is a slightly different product. Both petrol and diesel are derived from a natural resource called petroleum. This resource is incredibly important because it provides the raw materials needed to produce these fuels that power so many aspects of our transportation. As we look at how energy resources are used in our daily lives, understanding the role of petroleum and its derivatives helps us appreciate the importance of this natural resource for mobility and industry. Now, let's explore how petroleum actually forms. It all begins with tiny organisms that lived in the sea. When these creatures died, their bodies sank to the ocean floor. Over time, layers of sand and clay built up on top of them, creating a thick cover. As millions of years passed, these layers caused intense heat and pressure, and with no exposure to air, the organic material started transforming. This process gradually turned the dead organisms into the petroleum and natural gas we extract today. This transformation is a key part of the natural processes that create our fossil fuels, linking the biological origins to the energy resources we rely on. Let's talk about refining petroleum. Petroleum is a dark, oily liquid that often has an unpleasant odor. It's actually a mixture of many different substances, such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, and paraffin wax. Each of these components has different uses and properties. The process of separating these various constituents or fractions from the raw petroleum is called refining. This is a crucial step because it allows us to obtain the specific products we need for different applications. Refining is carried out in specialized facilities known as petroleum refineries. Understanding this process helps us see how raw crude oil is transformed into the fuels and materials we rely on every day. It's a fundamental part of how we turn natural resources into useful products. Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel because it's relatively easy to transport through pipelines, which makes it more accessible and efficient to distribute. It's not just used for energy. It also serves as a key raw material in the production of various chemicals and fertilizers, contributing significantly to industrial processes. In India, natural gas reserves have been discovered in several regions, including Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and notably in the Krishna-Godavari Delta. These discoveries are crucial for our country's energy security and industrial growth, tying into the broader theme of sustainable energy sources and resource utilization. Let's talk about petroleum conservation, which is crucial for both saving resources and protecting our environment. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, or PCRA, plays a key role in guiding us on how to save petrol and diesel while we're on the move. Their advice is simple but effective, and I want to highlight some of the most important tips. First, driving at a constant and moderate speed helps reduce fuel consumption significantly. Sudden accelerations and abrupt stops waste a lot of fuel, so maintaining a steady pace makes a big difference. Second, ensuring that your tires are properly inflated is essential. Underinflated tires cause more resistance, which means your vehicle has to work harder and use more fuel. Regularly checking and maintaining the correct tire pressure is a simple step that can save you money and fuel. Third, turning off your engine at traffic lights or when you're waiting for someone is another effective tip. The engine consumes fuel even when idling, so switching it off when possible helps conserve petrol. Finally, regular vehicle maintenance is key. Keeping your vehicle in good shape, with timely oil changes, filter checks, and overall servicing, ensures it runs efficiently and uses fuel optimally. Overall, these small habits, backed by PCRA's advice, can make a big impact on conserving our valuable petroleum resources. It's about being responsible and mindful of how we drive every day. Thank you so much for your attention. I truly appreciate you taking the time to engage with this presentation. Throughout our discussion, we've covered key points that highlight the importance of understanding these concepts and their impact. Remember, the main takeaway is how these ideas connect to the broader theme of our work and the positive change they can bring. I hope you found it insightful and that you feel inspired to apply what we've discussed. Once again, thank you for being such an attentive audience.